Hi everybody, it's Christopher and welcome to Life's Not Over, It Just Looks Different on YouTube. In today's video, I want to talk about another one of those things that I read about a lot in the literature I've read and when I'm hearing from experts on CVI, and that is this idea of a lower field neglect or an inability to see down and in front when walking, for instance, and that sort of thing. This is another one of those things that I hear is quite common amongst people with CVI and kids with CVI. But I actually experienced the exact opposite, which I'm going to talk more about in a minute. But this lower field neglect, and based on what I've read and based on what I've heard about it, and again, as I've said before, I'm not an expert on CVI. I'm just a guy who lives with the condition, and I'm sharing my own experiences from what I know and based on what I've read. And I equate this lower field neglect as being like a fully sighted person taking a big box that you can't see around and then going to walk down some steps, but you're not able to sort of look around and see where your feet are in relation to those stairs. You just have to trust that it's there when you go to take that first step and then one after it, and you just hope that you're not going to fall down the stairs. That I could see where that would be hugely anxiety inducing, because I think we'd all be a little bit panicked if we couldn't, or at least we might start to sort of tap ahead with our toes before we really take that first step, just to try to get a bit of a sense of where we are. I have the exact opposite problem. I have an upper field neglect that I've had since the stroke happened back in 2005, and as a result, I have had to retrain myself to walk with my head up and keep my head up as much as possible to see what's around me, including branches and trees and posts and even a bus shelter. Had an incident with a bus shelter once, walked square into it, because I didn't have my head up as I walked. Because most of us, when we're fully sighted, we glance up at what's ahead of us, and then we tend to look down at this 1 to 3 meter space in front of us to see what's ahead of us, that we're not going to trip on anything, step on anything, kick anything. But I had to do the exact opposite and retrain myself to keep my head up and only glance down occasionally to know what's immediately in front of me. That does mean that occasionally I've kicked something or I've tripped on something if I didn't see it in that quick look down. But on the whole and overall, it's been better for me to keep my head up, because I've had much fewer incidences with trees and branches and all these kind of things, and even people. Because if I walk with my head down and I can't see them coming, I've had these near misses where people have been about 1 to 2 feet in front of me before I've seen that they're there, and usually it's because they've got their head down with their face in their device and they're not watching either. So it's sort of my own self-preservation that I've taught myself to look up and keep my head up as much as possible, which initially caused me a lot of neck pain, because my body just wasn't used to keeping my head up straight for so long and for such long periods of time. But again, like many things, our bodies do adjust. And so the pain has gone and my head is now used to being up more often than it is to being down. So my body has adjusted and learned that this is now the new normal, as they like to call it. So that is just something that I have to do in order to be able to move around safely and not have collisions with things. That is everything I wanted to share in today's video. I want to thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who watches these videos, clicks like to let YouTube know that you like the videos, and also subscribes to the channel. It means a lot to me to be able to share this experience, because it's nice to be able to share what I'm experiencing in my world of CVI, but it's also a little bit fun for me because I had a broadcast career previously, so to be able to do these videos like this has a little bit of that broadcast life back, which I really appreciate and have fun with. So I want to thank you very much for watching today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.